For 60 years, University Technology Mara, or UITM, has been the place for acquiring knowledge and developing capabilities. From a training center to now a vast network of universities, UITM has campuses and faculties all over Malaysia. UITM allows for the pursuing of goals and earning a degree in any field of choice, with a mission to enhance the knowledge and expertise of Bumiputras in all fields of study, through professional programs, research work, and community service, while upholding moral values and professional ethics. Nestled amidst the greenery in some of the most scenic areas in the country, each university campus is strategically located in places where their presence inevitably provides an economic boost to the local community. The Vice-Chancellor is the Chief Executive Officer, heading the academic and administrative management of the university. UITM pledges to provide maximum opportunities to pursue professionally recognized programs of study in science, technology, industry, business, arts, and humanities. University Technology Mara offers quality education at all levels of study, from foundation to postgraduate. The university has always been at the forefront in science and technology, as well as in management. It is a place where talent, skills, and excellence are nurtured. UITM has a mission to empower the indigenous people through the provision of higher education in accordance with Article 153 of the Malaysian Federal Constitution and Act 173, University Technology Mara Act 1976. Duli Yang Maha Mulia, Sri Paduka Baginda Yang di-Pertuan Agong is the Chancellor of UITM by virtue of his status as the King, as provided for by the law. UITM has established 8 centers of excellence and 15 COE to enhance the scholastic, creative, and innovative capabilities of the university, as well as to facilitate and manage research and development. To complete the teaching and learning activities at UITM, the university has made available modern and contemporary facilities, such as the Stadium, the house of UITM FC. With a capacity of 6,000, the stadium is the heart of soccer, and it has played host to an international match in 2009. UITM also has an Olympic-sized swimming pool for the use of students and staff. The pool is also open to public on certain days. Built in 1972, Perpustakaan Tun Abdul Razak, or the Pita Library, has grown by leaps and bounds, housing thousands of international titles for all programs of study. Students' participation in extracurricular activities is highly encouraged and supported by the university. These activities would not only equip students with soft skills, but also train them to be balanced and holistic individuals to meet global requirements. As the largest public university in Malaysia, University Technology Mara has produced thousands of alumni who are successful individuals in their disciplines. They are award winners, innovators, entrepreneurs, and leaders in both the government and private sectors. UITM honors its alumni by engaging them to establish smart partnerships resulting in strategic alliances. The alumni also gives back in areas such as academic improvements, charity work, and fundraising. University Technology Mara, Usaha Takwa Mulia.
Half of a century ago, Prince of Songkla University has been established during a challenging time for Thailand and mankind. While the world community is heading towards sustainable development in order to find solutions to the continuing problems of our time. Collaboration between ASEAN members has just started. Thailand is still reforming its economic structure on a foundation of innovation, technology, and creativity. In accordance with our national strategy, the southern region of Thailand has been designated to be a base of green economy and a global tourist destination. These are the missions of Prince of Songkla University, the first university of the South, one of Thailand's research universities, and an internationally recognized source of higher education. Prince of Songkla University, one of the 5 leading higher education institutions of Thailand and a high-ranking university in Asia. With focus on an intensive promotion of research and development, along with graduate studies, in order to create new practical knowledge for the public, including innovations for enhanced quality of life, economy, and environment. The locations of our 5 campuses are strategically placed on the Thai Peninsula, the center of ASEAN. Rich in various resources, cultures, wisdom, and economic activities. Well equipped to identify and manage the serious issues that severely impact the quality of life, society, economy, and the environment today. These issues pose an endless challenge to the researchers of Prince of Songkla University. Prince of Songkla University supports its researchers by providing assistance to the setup of research networks on several levels. Prince of Songkla University has supported 8 research institutes to focus on industrial economics, medical science and public health, natural resources and environment, social and cultural matters. In addition, 3 more research institutes are planned in order to support future economic development. We aim to be the leader of research in fields related to the potential of the southern region in order to create stable, wealthy and sustainable development by researching to increase value of resources on both global and local levels. At the same time, we are researching answers to climate change related issues. We develop technologies for the future. Innovations for energy. Knowledge-based enhancements to food security. Medical innovations to better the lives of people. All are supported by organizations that provide essential assistance throughout research process. Local economic growth is sustainably supported based on innovation and creativity. We create a mechanism of collaboration with the private sector to support the creation of innovations and products, as well as the sharing of knowledge with several sectors through various channels. The Modern Scientific Equipment Centre. Nearly 300 laboratories of universal standard. High-performance information technology and communication infrastructure. Prince of Songkla University also serves public benefit by seeking for solutions, improving the society and culture with knowledge. Whilst also transferring knowledge to people through various procedures and channels. All 5 campuses of Prince of Songkla University aim for creating a productive environment for researchers to facilitate their pursuit of knowledge and lifestyle. Our green campuses are surrounded by nature, convenience and safety, located among popular tourist attractions and modern transportation networks that provide easy connection to all other regions of the country. Several researchers of Prince of Songkla University have been recognized nationally and internationally for their outstanding research achievements. To face the challenges of modern times, our researchers are constantly searching for knowledge, creating innovations, as they have been doing for decades. With a soul that is for the benefit of mankind, as advised by His Royal Highness Prince Mahidol Adulyadej, the Prince Father. As a research university that creates innovations and social improvements, Prince of Songkla University will continue this mission in order to provide better quality to the public today and in the future.
So, okay, Assalamualaikum everyone. A very good afternoon. If you can have all the videos up and running so we can see all our distinguished speakers for this afternoon session. All right, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon from Malaysia to all our distinguished speakers and all participants from ASEAN and other parts of the world. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm Dr. Zainab, your moderator for today's event. As we know it, the Presidential Roundtable, the inaugural IMTGT Presidential Roundtable features 6 university leaders that will share their thoughts on leadership in trying times, focusing on mitigation and initiatives, plus lessons learned and the way forward. This afternoon session with us are 3 distinguished speakers from University Malaysia Kelantan, Malaysia, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Datuk Technologist, Dr. Nur Azizi Ismail. Welcome, Datuk.
Thank you.
All right, and also with us this afternoon, we have the Honorable Rector of Universitas Syed Kuala, Indonesia, Professor Dr. Insinyur Samsul Rizal. and Assistant Professor Dr. Takeng Wong Sirishot, Vice President for International Affairs of Prince Songkla University, Thailand. So once again, welcome and thank you, distinguished speakers, for taking time from your busy schedule. Now, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the IMTGT inaugural virtual presidential roundtable 2020 with the theme of leadership in trying times is definitely apt in ensuring that leadership is demonstrated during the pandemic COVID-19. In the morning, just to share with you, we have heard from 3 ASEAN university leaders on leadership and managing pandemic crisis, focusing on mitigation and initiatives. So this afternoon, we will have 3 more ASEAN university leaders to share specifically their lessons learned and the way forward for 2021. So distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let us begin this afternoon with a montage video for 2020 IMTGT UNINET Virtual Presidential Roundtable. Let's enjoy the video. Yeah, a very short and sweet video indeed for our kickoff this afternoon. So at this point, I was informed there's going to be a quick photo session for all of our speakers. So may I request all of our speakers to have their camera, their visual camera ready. And again, to put our best smiles for 2020. I think we have, all right, Samsul and all right, okay. Technical team, we're ready for the photo on a count of 1, 2, and 3.
On a count of 1, 2, and 3, give your best smile. 1, 2, and 3. One more time. And IMTGT sign.
Oh, okay. This is how we do it.
Okay.
Triangle.
1, 2, smile. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Usna. All right, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, our first speaker this afternoon is the Honorable Vice Chancellor of University Malaysia Kelantan, Professor Dato Technologist, Dr. Noor Azizi Ismail. Let me now briefly introduce Professor T.S. Dr. Noor Azizi. Now, Professor Dato Technologist Dr. Noor Azizi Ismail is currently the Vice Chancellor of University Malaysia Kelantan. Dr. Azizi is Professor in Accounting Information Systems. Prior to the recent appointment, he was the Deputy Director General of Higher Education at the Ministry of Higher Education Malaysia, Deputy Vice Chancellor for Research and Innovation at University Utara Malaysia, and the founding dean of the Othman Yop Abdullah Graduate School of Business, University Utara, Malaysia. So among his recent achievements include LinkedIn Spotlight Malaysia 2019 by LinkedIn, 100 Most Inspirational LinkedIn Icons Malaysia for 2019 and 2020 by Marketing in Asia, and a Movers and Shakers Award for the Human Resource Development Asia 2018. With that illustrious background, let me now invite the Honorable Vice Chancellor of University Malaysia Kelantan to share UMK's or University Malaysia Kelantan's lessons learned in COVID-19. So the Honorable Rector, the screen is all yours.
Thank you, Dr. Zainab from UITM, our moderator this afternoon. So Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon. Also to my fellow panelists, Professor Dr. Shamsul Rizal from Universitas Syiah Kuala, so Professor Dr. Takeng Wang Si Richard from Prince Songkla University. First of all, I would like to thank for the invitation. And to start with, I believe that we are aware that the wave of COVID-19 hit us or hit our shores early this year, which started in China, Wuhan, spread to the world, shocked everyone, and woke us up from our sweet dream. So the pandemic has basically changed, I would say, the way we people live, work, and probably behave. And it has fundamentally changed the economic, the education, and even political landscape of many countries, I would say. So 1 year on, nations are still struggling. And I believe COVID-19 will be with us for a longer time, and we have to live with the virus. But luckily, with the introduction of the vaccines, some countries, including Malaysia, are looking into the possibility of opening up their borders, losing up their, restrictions in order to stimulate the economy. Otherwise, the economy will collapse, I think. So, what lessons do we learn from this pandemic? The way I see it, despite all the challenges, there are many blessings brought by the pandemic. And I will focus our discussion in the context of education and in particular UMK. But first, let me introduce a little bit in brief about UMK. UMK is a medium-sized university with more than 10,000 students. Currently, we have 10,500 students, 500 lecturers, and 9 faculties spread over 3 campuses. We have 3 campuses. And our main business or our niche is entrepreneurship, supported by strong faculties in business, in tourism, language, and humanity, veterinary, medicine, science, technology, heritage, and architecture. And last year, our graduate employability hit 92% for the first time. And we produce about 13% graduates, entrepreneurs, which is the highest in Malaysia. So however, we expect a lower percentage this year due to the pandemic, like many other universities. And what I would like to share is that what happened prior to the pandemic, at UMK. Before the pandemic, we had a serious discussion about our future teaching and learning, and also the focus of our research. So we discussed that the plan was to reduce face-to-face teaching and learning to 70% minimum and up to maximum of 50%, with the remaining of the teaching and learning is through or via e-learning. Because the reason is that will enable our students to have more free time to self-study, to go for hands-on learning experience, or even explore the world. So the new mantra that we like to introduce is learning by doing at that time prior to the pandemic. And second, in terms of research, we want to focus more on applied research that can bring change and direct benefits to the community, to the industry, etc. So the keywords that we want to propagate at that time is relevant. And in order to be relevant, we need to collaborate with the parties outside the university. So when the COVID-19 hit us in March, we had a lockdown. I would say that we are almost ready in terms of the contents and lecturers' readiness for e-learning. I would say around that time, about 85%. So we have to deal with the remaining 15%. And basically, it took us pretty quickly to change the mode from physical to fully online. And I'm not talking about the online learning, but a full interactive virtual e-learning. And within less than 1 month, I would say that we go full online, full e-learning. Everyone was, I would say ready for that. But one challenge is that it took us a little bit more time to upgrade the system to support synchronous learning, because while we have been doing e-learning since 2016, I would say, but we never do it in a mass. So to have a synchronous learning at the same time, is what was quite a challenge. And but luckily, the pandemic also enabled us to save some money, and we use that saving to invest in technology as part of our smart campus initiative. So that was done in a few months time, and now alhamdulillah, I think the system are running smoothly. But there are few problems that we face that are beyond our control. For example, the internet coverage. When the student went back to their hometown, especially the rural areas, the internet coverage and the speed are pretty poor. And then also the financial issues faced by the students, because now they need to fork out extra money to buy the data, which consume quite a lot for e-learning. But partly, I would say that the financial issue is solved by the ministry and also support from the university, because we refund part of the fees back to the student to assist them financially. And based on our survey, I would also say that after a couple of months, most students are getting familiar with the new learning environment, so which is good. And most of our lecturers are also comfortable with that. We are improving by time. And also our lecturers and our administrative staff, I would say, are also becoming more tech savvy compared to prior to the pandemic. And in fact, we are looking into the possibility of having more flexi hours of working, but the final decision will depend on the results of our study in regards to work productivity. We have done once, but we need to have another survey to look into the productivity before we make a final decision. Okay, that's about the teaching and learning. Now I want to move to the research part. I have a few interesting stories to tell, basically. Um, I would say that about a month before the lockdown in March, our researchers and students have came up with our in-house hand sanitizers. I asked, because we have chemists in our science faculties, I said, we got to buy from outside will cost us. So can you produce ours? So they said yes, and they just do it. And we end up producing, I don't know, how thousands of liters of hand sanitizers, and we distributed that to the frontliners. And altogether, within the 3 months of lockdown, we have produced 7 products, basically, among others, face shield visors, PPE suits, intubation boxes, tracking system, and many others. and we receive funds from the public, and we use those funds to produce those products and distribute to the frontliners free of charge. And two more tech products using IoT are almost ready now to be used by hospitals. Um, so we also receive at UMK funding from Yayasan University Malaysia for two projects, and which we are going to commercialize the product soon. So what I can say is that during the pandemic, I can see that our researchers are getting more excited because they can contribute directly to the society. I can see that they are becoming more creative and innovative to solve immediate problems. And our evidence shows that we just almost conclude the year 2020 based on the statistics that was presented to me last week. I can say that our productivity has actually increased, almost double during the pandemic. Our performance are better than last year in 2019. So that's the positive side um, of the pandemic. and and now we are in a serious discussion. I pop up this idea last year, but I'm not serious about it because when I said of learning by doing, I said that we need to bring in the industry into campus. And now we are very serious. I have basically had a series of discussion with our board members to open up our in-campus factory, the real factory that comply with all the requirements, etc. Because at UMK, we have almost 20 products that are ready to be commercialized. And we thought of, hey, why don't we just produce or manufacture themselves? And that by having, this in-campus factory will actually be a living lab for our lecturers, for our students, especially our science students, because we have three campuses. The campus in Jeli campus, which is about 2 hours from Kota Baru, houses three faculties. The faculty of bio bioengineering and technology, we have faculty of earth science, and we have agrotech industry. So those three faculties are the most, I would say, innovative faculties that are keep on producing many products that has or have the potential to be commercialized. So we need to upgrade. We are planning to upgrade our lab to be certified by the certification bodies, and towards the end of it we need to have our own campus factory. So one thing that really sparked my thinking towards this is that during the pandemic, most of our students are having difficulty in finding places for internship. Those factories and companies are closing down, or they reduce the business size, etc. So to find a place for our students to do internship is a big challenge for us. So by having this factory, hopefully within by next year, we can solve that problem, part of the internship problem, and our researchers and students, because our students are also producing products. We have many students. Currently, we have like 600 students who are doing business in campus, and some we have 600 registered companies and more than 1,000 actually students who are doing business. And some of the products actually came from their research study. So if we can assist them in terms of producing those products, I think we can turn our university to be a true entrepreneurship university. And we have also, alhamdulillah, this year we already have a few startup companies coming up. And also we want our business lecturers to use the factory as for real case studies. That's the plan. And since entrepreneurship is our niche, we really have to prove that. The way I look at it is that UMK need to be run like a business entity, And this pandemic has actually somehow speed up some of our thinking, some of our plans, and I would say that the future of education will not be the same again, but we believe that to happen in a positive way. Like I said, it just happened that the pandemic actually matched with what we were thinking prior to the pandemic, and that strengthened our points to forge ahead with our plan. And talking about back to the probably teaching and learning, I have mentioned that we want to reduce the face-to-face teaching and learning to up to 50%. That actually open up more opportunities for us. We are currently exploring international markets through this e-learning. One thing that I can share is that we are in a final negotiation with our counterparts in Cambodia. There's a big markets there for MBA students. They are working. They cannot come to Malaysia definitely to spend 1 or 2 years time. So I think e-learning is the best way. We are also looking into Indonesia as well, and probably a few times of visiting the university for a short period of time is suffice to earn an MBA. But because you know, I always believe that we learn more by doing, not by mere education. What we need to do is that through this pandemic, we need to review back our curriculum, to make sure that the curriculum are relevant and the way we teach, that now can be done virtually, so that there's no issue at all. So I look at all these challenges as an opportunities, as opportunities, big opportunities for us to explore. And you know I believe that despite all the challenges, the future of education is bright. It just give us opportunity to wake from our dream, all the sweet dreams that we have to think differently. you know if you look at the demand from our stakeholders are changing, but even probably I want to touch a little bit, why I'm so passionate about being relevant. Probably I can share since we still have time. I'm running out of my notes, but we still have time. But I would like to, I met a couple of top professors from world top universities like from MIT, Harvard, Kellogg School of Management, etc., even NUS. Um, you know, if in one of the interviews by uh, the president of MIT, Rafael Reeve, he mentioned that, what's the secret? When people ask what's the secret of MIT success, he mentioned about collaboration. And also at Harvard, they are talking about being relevant. So being relevant, being, and through collaboration are the main thing. It's not merely about, I'm a little bit worried, to be honest, when people chase too much of publication, WS, Scopus. I'm not saying that that's not important. It is important. But when I talk to those professors from world top schools, it's just not about publishing in the top journals, but the main thing is about being relevant. Our research must be relevant, must be able to solve the problem, whether it is immediate or long term. We are talking about lecturers. I think academicians need to really know how to differentiate between applied and fundamental research. Applied research will stimulate or produce more startup companies, and fundamental research should produce more spin-off companies. If you look at, I have studied several universities in Finland, for example. That's why universities, when the government set up that universities, it has created over time about 500 startup companies. And most of the companies are originally came from research done by the universities. So that's what we're trying to do at UMK. We want to be different. We want to make sure that we are, relevant. We are able to solve, and UMK is situated in Kelantan, located in Kelantan, and I would say that Kelantan is quite far behind compared to other states in Malaysia. So that gave us many opportunities to contribute to the socio-economic development of the state. And during this pandemic, it has actually the speed of our work, the speed of our innovation and creativity has shot up. And I think we had more discussion with the state government and also with the industries more than the previous years, I would say. And I hope that momentum will continue for the next year and beyond. And we have the aim of producing about 30% of our graduate to become entrepreneurs. That's our main aim. It's not everyone to be entrepreneurs, but we want all our students to have entrepreneurial mindset. But the target is that 30% of them will become the entrepreneurs. One thing that I would like to share. Last year during the convocation, we had around 40 sponsors, and 80% of them are students who are doing business, which is good. And this pandemic has actually many people are losing jobs. Finding new jobs are very difficult. So the best option is to venture into business. So we are speeding up we introduce many initiatives. We work with many agencies and also entrepreneurs in Kelantan, because Kelantan is known as being entrepreneurial. We have mentors from the real entrepreneurs to work together with our entrepreneurship lecturers. So hopefully through this coaching and mentoring system, we are learning from that. We are getting more systematic. Hopefully we can produce more entrepreneurs, and let us we put an aim that by 2030 that we can produce 30% of graduate entrepreneurs. But looking at the current pace, I believe we can achieve that much earlier. So probably that's what I can share. And to conclude again, I would say that the COVID-19 pandemic has brought us some blessings. It helped us to speed up some of our plans, wake us up from our dreams, and the future of education will not be the same again. It will be in a very positive way if we think positively. Thank you so much for listening.
Right. Thank you very much, Honorable Datuk Technologist, Dr. Nur Azizi, for the great and dynamic initiatives done at UMK. And I'm sure a lot of best practices, as mentioned, and calling for, this morning we heard of the synergizing, how can we collaborate? So again, Datuk bring up the main word, which is collaboration. And of course, not to mention being relevant. And I think being relevant, riding COVID-19, but remaining relevant. So as Datuk mentioned earlier, that COVID-19 actually has more blessings, has made people more innovative. And of course, we are glad to hear that, with challenges actually leads to more opportunities, to explore. Now, in the case of UMK Kelantan, as shared just now, and I'm sure what has been planned with productivity and everything, it's possible to achieve what has been sought out, as long as Datuk mentioned, we need to wake up, right, from the dream. Okay, I think that's a very good one. So Datuk, if someone were to ask you in 2020, one word to describe 2020, what would it be?
I would say wonderful.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much, Datuk. All right. Okay, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we will now move on to our second speaker, for this afternoon. All right, with us we have, all right, to represent, in fact, Professor Dr. Insinyur Samsul Rizal, the rector this morning, managed to join us for a short while, and we were informed he is attached with another prior engagement. So with us this afternoon, we are glad to have Professor Marwan. But before I move on to introduce Professor Marwan, I was told that Unshia would like for us to view the corporate video of the university. So Dr. Usna.
Located at the westernmost point of Sumatra Island, the province is rich with traditions, cultures, languages, and natural resources. The university is also known as the heart of the Achenese, Jantong Hati Rakyat Aceh. It is the oldest university in Aceh, officially established on September 2nd, 1961. Universitas Syukuala was named after an Islamic scholar of Aceh, Abdurrauf bin Ali Al-Jawi Asingkali, who is also known as Tunku Syukuala. He established an Islamic education center at a river mouth in Banda Aceh, which later became an official higher education institution. During this time, he gave great contribution to the education values and Islamic laws and regulations in Aceh. In addition to the main campus in Darussalam, Banda Aceh City, Universitas Syukuala has also established a second campus in the district of Gaya Luiz. The campus is called Program Studi di Luar Campus Utama, the study program outside the main campus, which was officially opened on September 2nd, 2014. Universitas Syukuala has 12 faculties and a postgraduate school: the Faculty of Economics and Business, the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, the Faculty of Law, the Faculty of Engineering, the Faculty of Agriculture, the Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, the Faculty of Medicine, the Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Science, the Faculty of Social and Political Science, the Faculty of Fisheries and Marine Science, the Faculty of Nursing, and the Faculty of Dentistry. All these 12 faculties together offer 135 study programs of different levels: diploma programs, undergraduate programs, professional programs, specialist programs, master's programs, and doctoral programs. With various faculties and programs being offered, Universitas Syukuala now hosts more than 32,000 students from various regions in Indonesia and overseas. The university has received numerous awards for its achievements at both the national and the international levels. For example, with Malam Diwa Electric Car, Universitas Syukuala recently won as the second fastest team to compete technical inspection in the electric class at a prestigious competition in Asia, the Shell Eco Marathon Asia competition. In the research area, the university has also developed a good reputation at the national and international levels through its excellent research and research centers. Such as the Tsunami and Disaster Mitigation Research Center and the Atsiri Research Center. Universitas Syukuala also publishes numerous scientific journals. Some of them have been indexed by SINTA, the Indonesian Citation Index, as quartile 1 and 2 journals. One of the university's journals, Studies in English Language and Education Journal, has recently been indexed by Scopus, one of the most reputable journal indexing and citation databases in the scientific world. Universitas Syiah has actively participated in several collaborative programs with several countries in Asia and Europe. These include Erasmus Mobility and Capacity Building Program, IMT-GT University Network Program, and the Erasmus Plus program. Universitas Syiah has numerous national and international collaborations with universities and companies across the globe. Through this collaboration, the university has successfully organized various academic and non-academic events which have improved the university's national and international reputations. The Joint Research and Publication Program, the Exchange Program, the Internship Program, the Disaster and Cultural Summer Camp, and the Humanitarian Program are among many others. Universitas Syiah does not only focus on improving the quality of academic activities within the campus, but also proudly offers services to the communities. These tasks are assigned to 3 units at the university: the Office of International Affairs, Career Development Center, and Entrepreneurship Center. These units help students, staff, and alumni expand their experiences in academics, business, and beyond. Therefore, Universitas Syiah has always appreciated and placed at top priorities all partnerships and collaborations, and has managed to make the university what it is today. The university continuously strives to improve the quality of its academic activities, research development, humanitarian works, and the quality and quantity of scientific publications to achieve its vision to become the leading university in Asia and to become a world-class institution.
Universitas Syiah, universitas yang inovatif, mandiri dan terkemuka, menuju Innovation Socio-Techno-Friendly University.
Okay, thank you very much for the video, Universitas Syiah. So with us this afternoon, let me very quickly do justice to the biodata for Professor Marwan, the Vice Rector for Academic Affairs and Head of COVID-19 Task Force on Syiah. Professor Marwan is a faculty member of Chemical Engineering Department, Syiah University since 1992. His first degree was in Bachelor in Chemical Engineering from 10 November Institute of Technology, Surabaya, and he received his PhD from the School of Chemical Engineering, University of Birmingham in the United Kingdom. His current research focuses on development of catalysts and reaction systems for direct conversion of oily biomass, specifically palm fruit and algae, to biodiesel, monolithic multi-phase reactors, and biomass utilization. Application of microwave in the chemical reactions is also his great interest. Professor Marwan also involved in higher education quality assurance since he was appointed as board member of National Accreditation Agency of Higher Education Indonesia. So Professor Marwan have served some management posts, head of Chemical Engineering Department, Dean of Engineering Faculty, and head of the Office of Education Development and Quality Assurance in Syiah University. So Professor Marwan's current position is as the Vice Rector for Academic Affairs at Syiah University. So with that introduction, join me in welcoming Professor Marwan to share UNISYA's initiatives and the way forward with COVID-19. Professor, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Jenal, as moderator, who have introduced me briefly. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good afternoon, everyone. Excellency, my fellow Professor Datuk Dr. Nur Azizi bin Ismail, Vice Chancellor University Malaysia Kelantan, and Associate Professor Dr. Takeng Wong Si Richard, Vice President International Affairs of Prince Songkala University. Ladies and gentlemen, first I would like to deliver apology from Prof. Samsul Rijal, our rector, because suddenly he had to join meeting with our former Vice President Yusuf Kala. So I hope I can share something what we have done and what we expect we can do in the future related to the education and other activity like research and community development. As we know that the COVID-19 have hit us since early this year, and especially for Indonesia, we found first case in March 2020. And then Syah Kuala University decided to respond to this situation. Right now, in Indonesia, we have more than 700,000 cases, and with daily cases more than 6,000. We are worried with the number right now. But in Aceh, we have very little case, less than 20 daily cases. But our situation is still worried because we don't do to manage the situation as expected. We realize that this situation affects our life, our education system, social relationship, business, community, economic, and etc. So far, we see some problem in managing the situation COVID-19 pandemic. With new normal imposed since August or July this year, people mobility increased while herd protocol rules implemented loosen. And then we see also the authority does not impose the rules strictly. The implementation of the rules also differ from one province to others. And also we face the situation that surveillance rate, swab test is still very low, less than 1% of the population as recommended by WHO. Most swab tests are based on the case form, not based on tracing and others. Only several provinces carry out systematic surveillance in Indonesia, like what they have done in West Sumatra, East Java, West Java, and Jakarta. And many decisions by the government made not based on epidemiology approach. They rely on the economic situation. And right now, high number of medical staff affected due to mishandling of the cases, like lack of a protective tool and bad procedure. And family cluster is growing due to disobeying the herd protocol in daily activity. Overall, the pandemic gave impact not only the community health, but also social relationship and economy. And of course, our education. So what we do now in Syah Kuala University in handling COVID-19 pandemic. As the eldest and biggest university in Aceh, Universitas Syah Kuala step up to help the community in facing the pandemic. Universitas Syah Kuala established COVID-19 task force in March 2020, aimed to prevent escalation of COVID-19 pandemic. The task force managed mitigation response for the internal university and also for external demands, especially for Aceh. Among them, we have submitted some recommendation to the provincial government. We also promote social behavior. We do some behavior research. We also provide a proactive tool for the community and health worker. That's some example what we have done. We also try to make collaboration with other institutions in Aceh, also national. The University Shah Kuala respond to the situation for the education. Since March 2020, we changed our learning approach from face-to-face to online learning. In last semester, we implemented 100% online learning. But we use a different approach for online learning. Some utilize our e-learning system, other using synchronized approach using Zoom and WhatsApp. We have some problem to use online learning, of course, because we have problem with internet access, problem with coverage and internet speeds. Fortunately, the ministry in this semester provide some internet budget for the student, also for the lecturer. So I think that help them to provide education by online learning. We have submitted at least 4 recommendations to the provincial government. In the recommendation, we suggest some, I think, like limited lockdown, enacting curfew, mass swab test, and strict supervision by police. Recently, we established collaboration with the local government and for university in Aceh to trace COVID in the university for the next semester. Because we plan next semester, we open university for student for face-to-face learning. So I think we need to make sure that the student attend the university, come to university, they are safe. So we try to cooperate with the Aceh government, and carry out swab test for the student. In June 2020, we start to operate infectious disease laboratory for COVID-19 testing. I think this helped much for the local government because nearly 90% testing in Aceh carried out in our laboratory. We have biosafety laboratory standard level 2 and recognized by the Ministry of Health. More than 20,000 testing have been done in our laboratory. And we also have produced protective tool, like I mentioned before, face shield, hazmat, hand sanitizer, portable hand wash, and etc. This protective tool we distribute to the community, especially during early COVID pandemic, and also we distribute to the health worker in hospital, in provincial hospital, and also in district hospital. We also help the government by increasing the community awareness about the COVID-19 So we use students in community engagement. Nearly 30,000 students involved in this activity for 2 or 3 months. So they carry out community engagement, promote how to manage with COVID pandemic in their hometown. We also carry out some webinar about COVID-19. We distribute flyer and banner. We also develop interactive COVID-19 dashboard to help in disseminating the information about COVID-19 to the community. For the laboratory we got support from the National Agency for Disasters Mitigation, and also from Ministry of Research, Ministry of Education, and also Ministry of Health. So the lab not only serve for the community, but also we provide free service for the student and also for the lecturer who have affected by COVID-19. Ladies and gentlemen, for the future, I think we need to develop collaboration among our university. Syah Kuala University want to, we offer some joint research collaboration and COVID-19, on COVID-19. We have expert in virology and epidemiology, data mining for health and for health diagnostic and management. So also we have PCR2 laboratory with 3 units PCR. I think that will help for the research on virology and epidemiology. So right now we have some collaboration with overseas university from Japan, from UK and France and Australia to do some research on COVID and epidemiology. And ladies and gentlemen, for education, in the next semester, as I mentioned before, we will start to allow students, limited number, to come to university to attend the classes. But we limit to the student year 2019 and 2020. Yeah. And the rest will still participate in education, in learning by online learning. But we allow them to attend laboratory work and skill lab, and also for some field laboratory, but with the with the what you call permission from the faculty, from the dean of each faculty to do that activities. I think among university in MTGT, we can exchange learning resources. As Professor Nur Azizi mentioned about the e-learning, something like this, I think we can exchange our model, our access to our learning system, and we can develop open online courses among the MTGT university member. We can also carry out virtual guest lecturer, virtual student exchange. We can, I think we can develop more. Right now we have carried out 2 or 3 activities with the virtual student exchange. I think that's all from us based on our experience. in handling the COVID-19 in Aceh especially, and then what we offer about our future collaboration during this time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Marwan, for the insights of Tunisia Kuala and what were done and what needed to be done also. And some of the proposals for, again, the word collaborations is going to be very key from 2020 onwards. As mentioned, joint research collaboration in the medical sciences in areas that UNINET, universities under the banner of IMTGT UNINET, can come together. All right. And so this morning also, we were talking about possibilities of sharing resources, professors on demand, that, you know, professor from UMK or from Unshia can offer a lecture, and all students in under the banner of IMTGT UNINET members, 26 members, can actually come together in this so-called ASEAN Global Classroom, if that is all at all possible. So once again, thank you very much. I think, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we shall move on now to our speaker representing the voice of Thailand. I'm glad that we have with us Assistant Professor Dr. Takeng Wongsi-Richard, who is currently the Vice President for International Affairs of Prince Songkla University. Let me briefly introduce Dr. Takeng. Assistant Professor Dr. Takeng, currently as the Vice President for International Affairs at Prince of Songkla University, PSU, Thailand. Lecturer in the Computational Science Faculty of Science. As Vice President, he aims to internationalize PSU to meet the international excellence in academic and research using intelligent mechanisms with innovative data analytics support. He was also the Assistant President for Educational Media and Instructional Development, Head of the Innovative Information Technology for Health Science and Society Research Unit, and also the Head of the ICT Program. He holds a PhD in Computer Science from King Mongkut's Institute of Technology, Lakrabang, Thailand, and a Master of Information System from the University of Wollongong, Australia. So, of course, his research interests include machine learning, health informatics, and information system. Dr. Takeng has also received several awards. Silver Award for a mobile audiometric test application at the 44th International Exhibition of Inventions of Geneva, Switzerland. And of course, the Best Award in Artificial Intelligence of PRIT, Thailand, for an automated text recognition on Thai national ID card. He has published several papers on topics such as snoring sound analysis application using K-mean clustering method on mobile devices, comparative investigation of PSD signal patterns to classify sleep disorders using machine learning techniques, a prototype of sleepwalking detection and monitoring using smart devices, and finally a multi-layer hybrid machine learning model for automatic sleep stage classification, just to name a few. And I'm sure Dr. Takeng will share with us what was going on at PSU during the pandemic, and probably lessons learned and the way forward. So with that, let us welcome Assistant Professor Dr. Takeng Wongsi-Richard.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saina, for the introduction. First of all, I'd like to thank all the committees and the organizers that organized this meeting today. Before I start with the questions that I got from the organizers, so I report you the number of COVID cases in Thailand. They just have an announcement this morning around 10 o'clock in Thailand. So right now, today we have a new cases 155, which is I would say the second round, because we already have the first round and it stopped for many months already, and this is the second round. So the second round is actually from Myanmar, those sites. So it's different type of the coronavirus. So we have a number of new cases, more than 100 for a couple of days already. So they expect to have these kind of numbers, say 100 something in approximately a month or two. So we have a total accumulated cases of 6,440 in Thailand. So 4,000 of them has been treated and go home. We have only 61 cases there. So we still, I would say we're still fighting for it. So hopefully it will end soon. That's what we all hope, right? For the PSU, before I move to PSU, I very like the name of the theme of the conference, the word that you use, the leadership in the trying times. It's really a trying times. Like all the speakers have been talked today since the morning, saying that is a learning by doing, like Professor RCC was just mentioned. So we have many things that we have done at PSU, and we can share with all the members in IMTGT. So starting from what PSU have been faced during the COVID-19 since February last year. So it was fast, I would say that, coming in very fast, and our management team trying to do our best to cope with it. So the effect on the staff and the students. So that's the first one that I would like to talk. So at the beginning, so we allowed all the staff to work from home. That's definitely all the countries have done that. We created a mobile application that allow the staff that can register their work from home rather than have to come to university. So for the students, at the beginning of the pandemic, so all the students has been sent home, so they are going home, so they're not on campus. But right now they are on campus. So most of them are on campus, but since last week, we stopped all the on-site study. So we turned back to the online mode due to the second round of the pandemic. So now the student is at the dormitory. Some of them has going home already for just for safe. So actually in campus we have a big hospital here. So all the suspect cases have been sent to PSU hospital. Last week we have 2 confirmed cases here. So one of them is our lecturer. So it has been a very bad situation at the beginning of last week that we have known that one of our lecturers has been infected. So there are more than 100 students have been contacted with the lecturer, but good luck for us that all the students are safe. So we have tested and all negative. So just only the lecturer that test positive. Right now she's on the treatment. So we expect that another week she will return back to work safely. So effect on the staff and the students, like I said, people are working from home, students are studying from home. Like Professor Mawa was saying that when we starting to allow the student to study from home, that one thing that gonna be the problem is the internet connection. So we have to provide the students the SIM card that the student can access the internet from home. So we don't give it all to all the students. We have like 30,000 students. So there are quite selective cases that the student really don't have it. So we give it to them for their study. We have to change our lectures a lot during the time. I would say another thing is COVID-19 pandemic is a catalyst for the lecturers, for the researchers, for the student. I would say in the case of the lecturers, so if we think back 2 years ago, if we talk to the lecturers, especially in PSU, that can you teach online? The answer will be no. They say that no, that's not the way. We need to meet face to face. But right now it's become I would say a new normal for the lecture. I can see from the second round. Now we have the second round. It means just only on the 23rd or 24th, it's say a week ago. So the university is saying that okay, we have confirmed cases in campus, so we're turning back to online teaching. No complaint. No one complained at all. So the lecturers just turned it back to online. So that if we think it in a positive way, so there's a catalyst, a good catalyst to change the society and to change the lecturers the way they think. So that's the first point that I'd like to share. So the second point, continue from the first point, regarding the teaching and learning and seminar and meeting, all have done online perfectly. I would say in Thailand, in Malaysia, in Indonesia, everywhere in the world, we can do it online. The problem, like Professor Sainab was saying early this morning, that we might find some technical difficulty, but that one can be overcome. There's no problem at all. So a number of software has been used in the campus, like I would say in other universities as well. So like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Cisco WebEx, those kind of things has been used. And I would say now people get used to it, so it should be fine. We have a lot of, I think all of the IMTGT Uninet member also have this effect, is the mobility program and the collaboration between the international counterparts and partners, right? So I asked the Vice President for International Affairs, so I have to overcome this issue. So we turn so many projects into a virtual activities, virtual mobility program. Some of them, I would say some of them were okay with that, but some of them is not. Some of them still have so many obstacles. So we have to look at that one more and plan for the future. So many seminars, many meetings have been done online perfectly, especially regarding the teaching and research. That should be fine. There's no problem. Regarding the teaching from overseas, that's also fine. There's no problem on that one. So that will be the first group of the answers that I can give it to you. So I'll move on to the initiatives and innovations that we have done at PSU during the COVID-19. So it will be safe to say that the COVID-19 come very fast. And as PSU running 5 campuses down the south of Thailand, so it's quite a tough job and a big job for administrative team. We, at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic in February or March, so the 2 of the strategic cities that have been put for the government in the south of Thailand, the first one is in Phuket, and the second one is in Songkhla, which is Hat Yai, in the main campus. So in Phuket, we have to set up a field hospital there on campus. So we plan to have some people that got infected from the COVID-19 to get into the campus. So we closed the campus at that time, and the hospital was set up within a week in the campus. So we sent more than 100 nurses and doctors from Hat Yai to Phuket to be ready at that time. I would say it's a good luck for us. There's no new cases in Phuket at that time. So we quickly turned back to a normal operation after that for a month or two. So, but right now, the second round, so we have to talk more that whether we need to set up it again or not. For Hat Yai in Songkhla Nakarin Hospital, so we have many cases since the beginning of COVID-19. We have to set up a clinic outside the hospital building for treating those we suspected they might have some kind of virus infection, starting from a normal cold into up to the COVID-19. So it has been set up, and it was running for more than 6 or 7 months during that time. One of the successful cases that has been done at PSU was the first successful plasma treatment on the COVID-19 patient in the southern of Thailand. Actually, in Thailand, we have a number of plasma treatments in the COVID-19 patients, mostly in Bangkok, in Siriraj Hospital, which belongs to Mahidol University. But we at PSU, we had one patient, which is a very severe patient. We expect them cannot pass that severe situation. So we talked with the cousins of the patient. So we start to use the plasma treatment, and it was successful. So I would say that there was one of the innovative thing that we have done at PSU. We invent a number of small innovations from the engineering people, like the UV radiation boxes for people that can put things into it, and they can kill the virus. So for example, if you put in banknotes into that box for less than a minute, so all the virus has been killed. So that has been distributed many places in the southern part of Thailand. Like Professor Azizi was saying, we have also make our own alcohol hand sanitizer, and those kind of things also have done here as well. And also the pumping devices that you don't need to touch on the boxes or bottles when you're using the hand sanitizers. There's another initiative. In terms of economics, I think many speakers was talking about the slowdown of the economics during the COVID-19 pandemic. Actually, that also happened in Thailand as well. PSU try our best to boost up the economy. So people in the South, they cannot sell things that easily understand during the pandemic. For example, those have some of them are selling the seafood and those kind of things. They cannot sell it during the pandemic. So we set up called a PSU Bazaar. So I think bazaar is the Malays word, right? Bazaar, so it's the market, right? So we set up a PSU Bazaar, I think around March, and it's an online community that's using a Facebook. So but the starting idea is try to help our staffs and cousins of their families and they're selling things to the community, especially for the PSU community. So we're starting from the first day of 1,000 members, which is quite fast. And right now it's go up to 50,000 members. They're still selling things in there and boost up the economy. Some of them has been thanked to the university that if they don't have that one, maybe their family has been collapsed already. So that already done, the easily thing that can be done on the table, that number of mouse click and everything is set up. So we're still running on that one, and we are moving forward on that one as well. So I'm moving to the next part. I think I still have another 5 or 10 minutes, so I think I can complete that one. We have done a lot, and especially for the southern part of Thailand. One thing that I can share with our IMTGT UniNet members, we try to seeking external funds that can support our activity. During the pandemic, one of the coincidences that have been happened in the Thai government is they try to reinvent Thai universities. They call a reinventing project. So the reinventing Thai university project, it means that they try to, I believe in Malaysia, the government was doing these projects, I believe 7 or 8 years ago. I was heard that they try to reinvent. That's the word that we use. So the COVID-19 pandemic plus the reinventing project. So we try to combine these two together. So one of the matching project that we're talking in IMTGT UniNet today is about the exchanging of the students, exchanging of the lecturers or researchers. So PSU Reinventing Project has included those activities. So I think if it's possible, so I think starting from the beginning of next year, PSU will announce a number of projects coming in with the funding from the Thai government to do, for example, a virtual seminar. So IMTGT UniNet will be the main target for that one. So we can set up a virtual seminar, we can set up a remote learning. So for example, we can have a chair professors that can remotely teaching from overseas, from both sides, with a number of funding support from the Thai government. So the PSU Reinventing Project from the Thai government is not actually for the local of the Thai community only, so it's more internationalized. So that one I can pass the information after. Now the project has been approved, so we're waiting for the funding to come into the university, and after that, so I can announce everything. So it will be a big project for PSU that can share with the members in the UniNet as well. A smaller things that we have done here, I believe in other universities has also done this. When we have developed the PSU Care mobile application. PSU Care mobile application is an application that the student can register when they access the building, or they can report their temperature, the body temperature to the group. So if they're feeling not so well, so they can make contact with the administrative staff as well. We set up a hotline for the students, a social media that the student can contact the right people if they have the problem. Before I end, I would say that it's a good time. I'm trying to think differently rather than thinking the pandemic is a bad thing. If we're thinking it's a good thing, so it's a good time for rethink, for reform, and reorganize university strategy, and also the practices that we have done inside the university. I believe that all the university in IMTGT UniNet have been rethink, reform, reorganize so many things. And I believe that in the near future, when we come and meet physically, so we can share the, I would say it's a best practices during the bad time in the pandemic as well. So that will be all for me, Dr. Sainab. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Takan, for sharing all those wonderful things that are done at PSU. And of course, you ended your sharing with the 3 R's, okay? To rethink, to reform, and reorganize. And I think that's pretty much the way forward. All right, so having heard from all the panelists, I will pose the very first question that has been given here. I guess when our audience heard that, you know, every country seems to mention about how challenging it has been for technology. All right, from morning we heard that, and almost every country there was a glitch, or have we actually improved it? So basically they said, well, 2020 has been challenging technologically for both students and staff. All right, so the question is, perhaps, each one of you can share, how do actually leaders, as leaders at your various institutions, you address the problems. All right. So what are the plans, or what are some future initiatives that is in store? For example, maybe at UMK Kelantan, or probably Malaysia, or Thailand, or even Indonesia. So that is the first question here. All right. Talking about technology. Maybe Dato' Prof. Azizi would like to get the ball rolling. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I have mentioned a little bit about the issue of technology. Yes, we did face the challenge in upgrading the system, the learning system, because talking about e-learning, there are many aspects of technology that we need to address. One is the coverage, the speed, the database, and all other relevant things that need to be upgraded. And it is not cheap. It's quite expensive. And in the context of UMK, the total cost can go up to like 5 to 7 million ringgit, and we cannot afford to spend at once that 5 to 7 million. So we have to do it in phases, and some we did it this year, and the next second phase will be completed by next year. But that's one thing which still within our control. But another issue is that things that are not, that's beyond our control. For example, coverage is definitely beyond our control. The speed is also beyond our control. And but the good news is that when I read the budget for 2021, there's an allocation of about 7 point, I can't remember exactly, but I think it's about 7.8 billions been allocated by the government of Malaysia. So hopefully the issue of coverage and speed can be resolved by next year, because without the connection and the speed, I think the whole idea of e-learning, it's going to be difficult, because some students are still very challenging. It is not just about rural, but also the urban areas are facing the same challenges. So the rest, I think, what we can, since we have our own faculty, I mean a department on technology, we are doing the best that we can to resolve whatever issues that we have internally. So and the rest, I think we have also a committee, IT committee at the ministry level. So whatever issues that we are facing collectively, we put up to the ministry through that committee. So I think things will get better, inshallah, by next year.
Thank you, Dato'. Yeah, perhaps we can go to Indonesia. Professor Marwan.
Yeah, I think our challenge for the next year is our life, I think, more rely on virtual or IT system. So especially for education or learning system, we will use more online approach in teaching and also laboratory work. I think we need to develop this kind of system for our kids in Indonesia, especially for Universitas Syah Kuala. So I think we need to invest to provide better access for internet, coverage, and also speed, and also the internal network within university. So, and then we also need to develop the lecturer ability to use the system right now we have implemented the online system, but we observe some lecturer still lack of internet ability to use for the learning. So I think we need to develop the lecturer in this case. I think that's probably.
Right. And I know that Dr. Takang, you the expert, go ahead.
All right, thank you, Zainab. It's a challenging time, but I would say it's a bit of good luck for PSU. We have invested a lot in the hardware part and the network part of the university systems. So, like Professor Azizi was saying, that they plan to use about 5 to 7 million ringgit to improve that one. I would say that it's the same number here in Thailand. So roughly, for our 5 campuses, we have to allocate about 10 million ringgit a year to just only maintain the current system that's running. So to answer the question, I would say in 3 parts. The first one is the hardware part. So during the pandemic, so we have to, we don't really do upgrade because we upgrade it every year. So it's already upgraded, but it's overloaded our system. So during the pandemic, I would say the network usage was going up to about 120%. So during that time, we used about 1 or 2 days to expand those bandwidth. So finally, we cover everything. So that one is the hardware part. So it's not so difficult for us. For the software part, is also overload our e-learning system. So what we have done, because before the lectures, they do the e-learning, means that they post the slides, they post the documents on their system. They don't really do the examination on that one a lot. They just do some kind of quizzes, small quizzes that should be fine. But during the pandemic is what the end of the semester. So they try to do a final test, a final examination online. So it's overload our system. So what we have done, we separate the e-testing out from the e-learning system. That took us a week on that one to create a new system. So it's quite fast and rapid, and we need to solve it suddenly to cope with the problem at that time. But the most important part and the most difficult part will be the people that in our system. So the people, especially the lecturer, like the Professor Mawar was saying, that when we turn suddenly to online, there are a group of lecturers that they are not resist to what we change, but they need time to change. So actually, PSU have done some kind of training for the lecturers before the COVID to move the lectures to more online rather than offline. So some of them already passed that stage, so they are fine. But during the pandemic, we're still doing many trainings for the lecturers to teach online and to evaluate their teaching online as well. Because it's just not only teaching how to use the technology, but how they evaluate their students online. That will be the most difficult part. But that's the not really the plan, but it's already done at PSU, and now we are happy with that. So thank you very much.
As a follow-up question on technology, like once lecturers are familiar with online, already at ease, and probably asking for more, getting excited over it and saying, okay, I want more of this because I want to use this for my students. So how does the university prepare for that, right? So they become more comfortable and they want more. So as leaders of the universities, are we ready for that? Or are we still working on like a baseline and then we go slowly but surely? But let's say, majority is on board. So what next?
I can start with that one. We have a case there.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Thank you.
now many lecturers are happy with that one. So they are not really thinking going back to the on-site mode or the physical mode anymore. So for the vice president for academics, she's not really say that you cannot go back or you have to go back. No. So online turns to be a new mode of delivery. So we have during the pandemic, we have a new program here, which is starting, I think, last year as well. So it's a master degree and PhD in data science. So that program, they are teaching 100% online, and they're saying that they don't want to go back to the physical thing because that program is running in 5 campuses, and we have all the lectures in 5 campuses. But what we agree with the students saying that, okay, after the pandemic, we're going to have a what we say, a gathering seminar for the student to come back together and meet each other. That will be once a year for them. So it's a kind of party for them. So to answer this question, I think online will be a new mode of delivery. So we are not forcing them to go back or remain online. That's up to them, because even though, I mean, eventually, if they can evaluate what they are teaching, evaluate their students, they know that is a quality on their education, that should be fine.
Sorry, Dato, or UMK, lecturers are comfortable as a baseline, asking for more because we are experimenting and we want to use more of this and lesser of that. Are we ready for that?
Yeah, I think like I said, prior to the pandemic, we have thought about this.
Mm-hmm.
And even personally, I think that somehow we need to teach less, but to expose students more to the hands-on experience, let them explore. If we have like currently, the normally we have like 42 hours teaching per semester. Do we really need that 42 hours meeting? I think with this online, probably what we can do is that to provide the best content so that the student can have a self-study, and we reduce the face-to-face. But probably for those who are not so good with the or cannot follow exactly the teaching and learning, we need to provide more consultation hours. I think the rest, those who can work on their own, I think we need to free their time so that they can explore something else. Because I think the real world out there, the world out there, very different. It's not like what we lecturers always perceive. We perceive one thing, but the world out there may be different, and the students also have their own perceptions towards teaching and learning. So I think the future is that we need to have more engagement to find a balance, the best way to deliver the teaching and learning, not on merely coming from us as an educator. I think, and looking forward, I think UMK, we will you know carry out our plan to reduce the face-to-face even after the pandemic to 70 or up to 50%, because we have other plans for our students. We need our students to learn more by doing, to have this hands-on experience, not merely to listen to lectures, because what we preach sometimes can easily, student can get it and learn on their own. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, I'm hoping for a change in terms of the teaching and learning.
Yeah, thank you, Dato, for the response. Professor Marwan?
Yeah, I think we need to move forward. In the future, we believe that our life again more rely on virtual and IT. I think what we face right now, as I mentioned before about the lecture, especially for young lecture, I think they are more ready with the situation, the future situation. They are more adaptive, and we feel also more confidence with the learning something like this. But for senior lecture, I think still need to upgrade. They believe the same as a young lecture, but we have to think how we upgrade their capability using internet, something like this. For the lecture also concerned on how to achieve learning outcome, especially about character building. I think it's not easy if we do a lecture or teaching with by online to achieve character development or character building, and also about evaluation. So I believe if we can create more interactive and attractive activities, I think the future of learning, online learning, will be very benefit for our education. We suggest to use a hybrid learning. For example, we impose the lecture to use 60% face-to-face, and then the rest using online for the future. I think we also need to develop virtual content and also virtual exchange program. I think it will be attractive also for the student for the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm looking at one question here from our Pigeonhole. It's saying that the spirit of face-to-face teaching is a physical or emotional imparting of knowledge from teacher, lecturer to students, keeping in mind that, learning is a social process. So they say online may not provide the closing. So how do we address that issue then?
Probably I can start.
Okay, go ahead, Dato. Yes.
I think that it is not going to be 100% online. I would say the future. We still need to meet face to face, but finding a right balance, between having face to face and student to self study, or one is through self study and second is through virtual interaction. I think it is something that we need to find out, and probably over time we will find the right balance between the face-to-face and the online part of it. But since we are still at the beginning, I think yeah, of course both parties are facing some challenges, but I think probably give us 1 or 2 years time, we will find the right balance for that. Yeah, thank you.
For the response, Dr. Tucker.
Yeah, I totally agree with the Professor RCC that we have to find the right balance. So it's not really, I can say that it's not replacing things. It's not that we're using online and replace the physical thing. That's definitely, I don't think it's the way that it can go. So in order to find the right balance, it depends on the area of the studies. If you are in the area of medicine, so online might not be the right place to go. So we still have to run the on-site teaching and learning. If we're talking about the IT people, they might love to go online because they are usually online all day. So there shouldn't have any problem with them. So I think we have to find the right balance. That it's gonna be difficult, but we have to find. That's a comment for me. Thank you.
Seeing a lot of things going on now. Already mentioning about hybrid combination. All right. Okay, this is interesting because Professor Dato Azizi earlier mentioned this. Hey, what's the one word? It's wonderful. So how do we actually encourage students to view this pandemic, as quote unquote wonderful?
That wonderful, it need to be looked at in a positive way. I think it is about thinking positively. When the pandemic hit us, we can came up with all the excuses. Students, lecturers, almost everyone. But after a certain period of time, we need to wake up and brace the challenges, think positive, and then I think what we need to do is to turn whatever challenges into opportunities. For example, there are many positive things like online businesses, and one of the business ventures that many of our students are currently doing are online businesses. So we get, for example, Lazada to come to us to share with our students. We get many real entrepreneurs to share with our students, etc. So from the entrepreneurship point of view, there are many other opportunities, and we are encouraging our students to think beyond the norm, you know, and to be more positive. That's what we are trying to impart, because entrepreneurial mindset, it is about positive thinking. It's about finding opportunities. So and based on the evidence that we have at UMK, as I mentioned before, I think the productivity of, or the creativity, the innovative, and from that, our productivity has almost doubled this year. So that's what one of the reasons why I chose the word wonderful, and I hope that our students and our lecturers can encourage our students, motivate our students to think positively, and see things in a more wonderful way than, yeah, that's what I can say. Thank you.
Yeah, great, Prof. Dato, for the response. All right. Prof. Marwan, what about the students? I mean, are they thinking positively, or are they able to move forward?
I believe they'll be able to move forward because they are still young, yes, they are adaptive with the situation. Yeah. I agree that pandemic is wonderful for everybody. Before pandemic, I think we start to talk about the industrial revolution 4.0, the age of IT, adoption of IT in our life. Suddenly, start early this year, we do everything with IT, yeah, during this situation. I think we have new life opportunity here. We can do a seminar in online. We can discuss everything online. We have more innovation for the research and for also for the student. I think that's a sign of wonderful thing for our future. So that's why earlier I say that our life more like on virtual, I believe. Yeah. I think my keyword is virtual life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Takan?
Yeah. I would say that the student, both the student and the staff, we have to sit back and rethink. That's still my word that I was mentioned before. But when they think, they have to think out of the box rather than thinking in the same way that they think before. Right? So, but the most important part will be that those students that can think forward, they can find the new ways of living, right? But there are some students that still cannot move. So, like in PSU, we have a number of the students that they are quite stressed during the pandemic. For example, when the lecture is moving to the online teaching, they don't have the tablets, they don't have the iPad, they don't have the computers. So that the important thing that the administrative team have to do and help them to move forward. So that's the comment from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we have another question on, yeah. All right. So perhaps this is, all right, from Pinar all the way from Istanbul. Okay, in terms of internationalization, which new forms of international collaboration they implemented since the beginning of pandemic? And what has been the most innovative digital solution in university? So for internationalization, yeah, which new forms of international collaboration they have implemented since the beginning of pandemic?
Probably Dr. Zainab,
Yeah, Dato'.
what we do at EMK during the pandemic is the virtual students mobility, because we cannot stop this mobility program. So we need to be innovative enough to work out with our partner universities to have virtual students mobility, whereby they can join classes for a few weeks or for a semester virtually. So I think that is one of the new things that's happening during the pandemic. Yeah, that's for me.
Dr. Takan,
Yeah.
the international new initiatives?
Yeah. Virtual mobility is the thing that we have done during the pandemic in many forms. Student mobility, virtual seminar between researchers, and also we have some teaching classes that people from Europe, I mean the researchers from Europe that teaching online from that side. But in this part, I'm not really saying that it's an innovative digital solution. It's actually an existing solution that we have, but we never used it before. So right now we just use it more frequently and people getting used to it. But in the future, we have a number of plans that we haven't done yet, but it's already in the plan. So we're thinking of, for example, if we have a mobility program with the people, I mean, to other sides of the world, for example, to the US, to the UK, or to Europe, that before we struggle with the expenses that we need to cope with, so which is very high. So in the future, a hybrid mode between physically visiting the countries that will be still there, but it's shorter term, but we can have a more mobility in terms of virtually, so that can be done, and I think people will love it too. And also in terms of international collaboration, I think PSU has a number of Erasmus Plus project that's running here. So or I say that all of them now is turning to be online already. And in the future that we develop the proposal, so we have including these components, I mean the online components into our proposals as well. So that would be from me. Thank you.
Professor Marwan, about internationalization and students' willingness to embark on virtual mobility?
Yeah, during this pandemic, we have done virtual student exchange under the NTGT program. We also, with other university, overseas university, we have done some guest lecture. Yeah, also for the course, we have also invited some professor in our workshop, FGD, and other academic activity in Universitas Shah Kuala. I think it will be good for our academic activity in the future. Also, nationally, we have this semester, we carry out the student exchange involving, I think, more than 2,000 students in Indonesia. So we exchange between university. Next semester, we also start for the around 20 university in western part of Indonesia. So I think that's kind of collaboration, not only international, also for national student exchange.
Thank you very much. Yes, Dato, yes, please.
I just like to mention there's one term used when I visited China a couple of years back. Instead of MOOC, they call it as MOOE, MOOE, Massive Open Online Experiment. And that MOOE is actually used the AR, VR, and MR, augmented virtual and mixed reality, whereby I have seen it myself that during the pandemic, I think most of the students, especially the medical students, will not face an issue because they could still do the experiments virtually. So at UMK, we have a team that is actually working on this. They are exploring to introduce MOOE, because especially for science, and we have like creative technology and a team that are working on it. So I think it is worth to mention here, because everyone is talking about e-learning, MOOCs, etc., but very few actually touch on the MOOC or the experiment aspect of the e-learning. Thank you.
Thank you, Dato. That's good to know that. Yeah, with what has been done and from MOOC to what China has, massive open online experiment. Yeah, to support those disciplines that, yeah, meaning that can be done. I mean the medical, with using virtual reality and so forth. All right, I think probably this is probably the last question that I see in the pigeonhole. So, it's specifically okay for Dr. Azizi. UMK being an entrepreneurial university, so how do you encourage and maintain and sustain? So it's about sustainability now, Dato. Students' spirit in terms of evolving themselves into an entrepreneur during this pandemic.
Okay, I think in the context of entrepreneurship, coaching and mentoring are the key. And during the pandemic, most of the students are not in campus. So there's an issue on how we can reach out to them. But what we do at UMK is that I think we have lots of virtual seminars. I think more than that we have physically last year. We invited lots of speakers, the real entrepreneurs, including, because at UMK we are also working with, for example, Alibaba, we are working with Lazada, etc. So through those virtual seminars, coaching and mentoring, I think we hope that the student spirit can still maintain. And based on the latest data that we have, for the 2020 graduates, we have passed that 10% of our students who become entrepreneurs. So we hope that we can reach the same percentage as of last year, which is about 13%. So the way I see it, this pandemic shouldn't be, um, what we call it, an excuse for us to not to encourage students to keep on their entrepreneurial spirit and thinking. Thank you.
Great, because people, we are talking about sustainability. Whatever we are doing, our approaches, our innovations, are we able to sustain within the challenging times? Yeah. So okay, I think we have come to the end. I don't see any more questions in there. So perhaps just a quick round, probably a few words in moving forward. Maybe begin with Dr. Takan, Thailand.
So I thank you all the speakers and the committees that's running this one. And I still believe that after the pandemic, we can come together and we have a best practice from each side of us, and we can talk on that one. And as I say, PSU has been getting the reinventing project from the Thai government. So I will distribute the information when it's ready to all of the members. Thank you very much.
Can we move on to Indonesia then, Professor Marwan? Some parting words.
Very short. Okay. Our life will be more virtual in future. So we student, lecturer, leader should be prepared for this. Okay, thanks.
From Malaysia, Dato' Nur Azizi, some parting words.
I wish to thank the organizer first, and also to my fellow speakers, Dr. Takan and also Prof. Marwan, for the sharing the wonderful insights. And I think despite the pandemic, we still need to collaborate, and hopefully we can collaborate more closely. And as Prof. Marwan said, we need to think more positive. We need to brace the whatever challenges and turn them into opportunities. So let's pray for everyone's safety, and stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.
So thank you very much. So we've come to the end of our session 2 this afternoon. And of course, it marks the end of our virtual presidential roundtable 2020 for IMT GT Uninet. But we are reminding our participants, they are waiting for the network that we have scheduled. So there'll be those who are staying, and there are some issues, perhaps Pak Muzailin and others will be sharing. If you want to stay, still remain with us. So we're talking about the networking because we know in our audience, we have our colleagues from Istanbul and others on how best to move forward. So once again, on behalf of the organizer, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the speakers, the distinguished speakers. Again, like we said, it was doing this virtually and having the meetings and having the support of IMTGT, Pak Firdaus and everyone else. And of course to the chairman of IMTGT, which is in Kuchia Kuala. All right, so once again, thank you to Yang Berbahagia Dato' and then to Prof. Marwan and also Dr. Takin. So all the very best to everyone, and we look forward for 2021. And so I take this opportunity also to wish everyone happy holidays and have a great year ahead. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. All right.
See you.